Morning, everyone. Warren County Fiscal Court, Friday, June 13th, 2025, now called to order. I'd like to welcome today Dr. Jerry Gifford, our executive pastor at Glendale Baptist Church. He's going to start our meeting off with an invocation, and that's going to be followed by a pledge to the flag by Esquire Eric Aldridge.
Let's pray. Our Father and our God, we praise you for the day before us, God, for the opportunity to do good, to bless others, to be your representatives here on earth. And I thank you for each person in this room that serves us well. I pray that you give them wisdom and guidance, and we pray that as they deal with the hard issues of how to manage a great city, I pray that you'll bless them in it. God, thank you for everyone here. God, use them for your glory, for I prayed in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Esquire Cummings.
Here.
Esquire Williams.
Here.
Esquire McWhorter.
Here.
Esquire Lawrence.
Here.
Esquire Aldridge.
Present.
Esquire Lasley.
Here. Well, the red light is on, but maybe it's not working. I'll just speak louder. Okay. Thank you, Crystal. All right, first item is approved minutes of the fiscal court meeting on May 23rd, 2025. Motion by Squire Cummings, second by Squire McWhorter. Any corrections? Please call the roll.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes. Item 5 is approved personnel changes for Warren County. Motion by Squire Lawrence, second by Squire Williams. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes. Next item is approve the work schedule for the Warren County Road Department.
Motion.
Motion by Squire Aldridge, second by Squire Lasley. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes. All right, we're going to take a short break. We've got some guests with us today. It's easy for everyone else to say, and we want to turn over a couple things. But we've got some ladies from Weatherstone Homeowner Association, LaDana, and also Amber and Wendy are with us today. But they want to address the court on a pressing issue that I think will hit home actually with the most of Warren County. But we want to hear a few things from them. So thank you for coming today.
Crystal.
Okay. Hi, my name is LaDana Froge, and I am the president of Weatherstone Subdivision located on Russellville Road. Today, I come before you to advocate for the 132 families in my subdivision. The subdivision flooded for the first time in March 2021. After the floodwaters receded, the stormwater drain and retention area was assessed. Homeowners were told that this was a 100-year flood and it would not happen again. During this flood, the subdivision was still under the phases of development. In July 2024, the developer, John Crabb, turned the HOA over to the elected homeowners. The board had the drains inspected by the Public Works Stormwater Department. The drains were cleaned and the board was advised that our retention area was in good standing. Weatherstone HOA ensured that our retention area is mowed bi-weekly and maintained. In February 2025, Weatherstone subdivision flooded again. Judge Gorman, Public Works, and Scotty's placed a temporary gravel road in the subdivision for access to our homes that caused damage to private property, the entrance, and sidewalks that has not been repaired. During the flood, the HOA discovered that the Kentucky Highway Department routes all water from the north side of Russellville Road under the road and into the retention areas on the south side of Russellville Road. In April 2025, Weatherstone subdivision flooded for a third time. The homeowners and board have been promised a solution is coming. Today, I ask for the promised solution, or the promised resolution, and for an explanation on how the subdivision was ever approved to begin with. The board has since reviewed the stormwater quality management plan that was signed by Grayson Waltney, a representative of GC Land Development, and Charles J. Wright, a representative of Warren County Stormwater Management Agency. On page 15, it details revisions made by Michael S. Doyle, EIT, LSIT. Mr. Doyle's suffix indicates that he was an engineer in training. An EIT certification is awarded to aspiring engineers who have demonstrated a basic understanding of engineering principles and entry-level credential. His LSIT suffix stands for a land surveyor in training, which is the first step to becoming a professional land surveyor. This is the only reference to an engineer within the entire stormwater quality management plan. I stand before you today asking how a subdivision is approved by this county for development when it was revised by an engineer in training. There are 132 homes who have been affected multiple times by a poorly designed stormwater plan with no resolution. Our families have suffered thousands in property, structural, and infrastructure damage, PTSD, a newfound fear of rain, and thousands in lost wages with homes that no one wants to buy or even view. Planning and zoning and this fiscal court approved a development even with local residents from the area presenting proof of major repeated flooding. So today, we ask for a concrete long-term solution from the county and assurance that steps are being taken toward permanent remediation. Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming and such great points. You know, it is a troubling issue for many residents of Warren County, not just Weatherstone. However, we had to take some immediate action. One of the things about Weatherstone is there's one way in and one way out, and during that flooding, I met with LaDanna and other people out there. There's 132 homes, 128 of them couldn't leave the neighborhood, and I believe that water probably was up for 10 to 15 days. It didn't recede for that long, and so not appropriate again for people to take 2 weeks off from work, etc., and then hope no emergencies happen as well. And so I think the court did that. They've been explained to us by Wendy and some others about some issues out there, and our Public Works Department will be out there to address those. All I will tell you is we're going to meet with each of you, and we'll get you involved with people meeting, but this is a county-wide, the city of Bowling Green, county of Warren, planning and zoning, public works, stormwater on both governments is working for a solution to this. One of the issues we've run into is was well been documented is we use our karst system as our runoff. And I have no problem saying one of the issues, and most of you are aware of, if you have some water on your property and it comes there quite often, one great thing to do is to do a dry well that goes to the nearest void down there so the water can go to that. And all we have done is made 1,000 dry wells to fill up the karst system faster and faster and faster, and then the water has nowhere to go. We've been frustrated too. Nothing like if you have 100, we can't solve a problem for a 100-year storm. Sometimes those are going to happen, but having one 3 years later is a problem. I mean, so if we had that, but one of the issues as well you're well aware of is the February 1st instance when we had the 6 inches. That water had not receded yet until we got the second one in April, and it's really been cataclysmic. So. So that's one of the things there. I think we'll address these. We're working very hard on every area. As I'd shared with you beforehand, we have a road in Warren County that just became passable 3 or 4 days ago, and so as water has nowhere to go. We have continual growth, and so we're going to have to do this, but we are trying to get out in front of it. I appreciate greatly, and we do have empathy for the situation. No one wants to have their private property flooded, and especially not flooded if there's issues with other developments next to them. And so we're working on that. We'll set up a meeting so we can give you an update with planning and zoning, stormwater, public works, and all the people that are working. We've had 15 meetings on that. It's not something we live stream, but I will tell you there is a lot of people working diligently to solve this problem, because it's a problem for every citizen of this county, and we take it seriously. And I cannot thank you enough for coming today to share those. Those videos are heartbreaking, but as someone mentioned, it begins to affect property value. And that, among anything, I'm a firm believer in single-family home residential. I appreciate everyone's opportunity to live wherever, but single-family home residential is the first step to owning a part of the American dream, and no one wants that taken from them. And so I appreciate those efforts that you're doing, and we'll keep you informed along the way. But I promise you, we are doing everything in our power to correct this, because we have many things we're working on, and we don't want to continue to work on the same thing over and over and over again. So all I will tell you is this court, this body of elected people are committed to solving this issue out there.
We appreciate
Great.
that and look forward to meeting with you again.
Great, thank you so very much. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
coming today. Thank you. All right, we have our good friend, State Representative Kevin Jackson is with us today. Give us a little update.
Good morning, Judge. Good
Morning.
to see you, always, and magistrates. As Doug said, I am here kind of to give my annual update of what's going on in Frankfort, or what's not going on, however you want to look at it. Sometimes what's not going on is better than what's going on. So, but I do want to say, as always, thank you to Judge Gorman and the Fiscal Court. You all are still the envy of the other 119 counties in Frankfort. I promise you. We have so many good things going on in Warren County. And a lot of it is due to you all. And I see you out in the community. I saw some of you at the World War II reenactment a couple weeks ago. That was awesome. But you all are working. Thank you for what you do. I notice it, and I'm sure a lot of other people do too. So I just wanted to mention that, Judge. We're so proud to say that we're from Warren County when we're in Frankfort, because everybody else takes notice when you say that, and that's due to what you all are doing. I do want to mention a couple things that was in the in the 24 budget that affects Bowling Green and Warren County. One of them was the mental health facility. You all remember we got $20 million for a mental health facility that's going to be built out by Life Skills off of Lover's Lane, backs up to the interstate. That was brought to us by the Sheriff's Department, the Police Department. We worked hand in hand with city and county officials, and also included the Brad 10-county region in this. But we're going to have a groundbreaking early this fall. The facility looks like it's going to be somewhere around 35,000 square feet, with completion expected by the end of 2026. That sounds kind of optimistic to me, but let's hope that happens. But that $20 million is passed through our ad district, Eric Sexton at Brad. They are in charge of this construction project in conjunction with Joe Dan Beavers at Life Skills. And I think we've pretty well got everything set, and hopefully a groundbreaking. And Judge, I'll let you know, and you can announce that. The other thing is the transportation budget from the 2024 session. We got $220 million for Bowling Green and Warren County in the 2-year budget, which is unheard of. But part of it was because we're such a growth district that we needed the extra money, and the legislature saw that. I'll give you just a little update on that. The local legislative delegation meets with Joe Plunk every 3 or 4 months to see where things are going and where they stand. But here's what I got at the last update, and Judge, I just want to share because it does affect you all. This year, I-65 exit 28, I call that the Johnny Webb exit, they'll be doubling the length of the left turn lanes onto Lover's Lane. So as you come off the interstate, that's been backed up at certain times of the day, so they're going to double. They'll have to take out some of that median, but they will double the length of those two left turn lanes onto Lover's Lane. December, they'll let the bid for the bypass widening from Fairview to Medical Center. That's a much needed, if you travel that, Tom, if you travel that area like I do on a daily basis, you know that that is a much needed improvement. March of 26, bids will be let for 5 laning of Nashville Road from the WKU roundabout to Campbell Lane. That's exciting. And we'll have a 5 lane from there all the way out, I guess, to the Parkway.
Yep.
All the way out to the Parkway. So
Past Buchanan Park.
Yeah, that's true, all the way out past that. And we have money in the 6-year road plan to finish it from Buchanan Park on to the Simpson County line. So that'll be March. Another March 26 item is 3 laning Three Springs Road from Flea Land to FCA across the Parkway with a roundabout at Small House Road. I've been trying to push that and get that going, but they do have the property right-of-ways bought. Utility work will start, and bids will be let in March of 26. So just a few things happening that I wanted to let you know that $220 million, it never happens fast enough. Every time we meet, I say, Joe, when we're not starting a new project tomorrow, we're getting further and further behind in Bowling Green and Warren County. He understands that. But there's a process you have to go through to get that money down from Frankfurt and the whole 9 yards, you all understand. But we are pushing to get those things done, and that's why we meet ever so often. Judge, on the 2025 legislative sessions, what they call the short session, it was the 30-day session. That doesn't sound very long, but you spend 6 or 7 weeks in Frankfurt, it seems like an eternity. So I'll just share that with you. But they tried to get us not to file as many bills. We still had one guy that filed 40 bills in a short session for some reason. I guess he wanted some recognition. But we had 1,087 bills filed this session, and we passed 148. So we only passed 14% of all the bills that were filed. And that's kind of what I meant a while ago when I say sometimes the best work you do is preventing a bill from passing or not bringing it to the floor. Because when you got 138 legislators up there, you've got some crazy ideas sometimes. So we try to handle that, and we only pass 14% of the bills. I wanted to share with you, I filed 3 bills. I got 1.5 of them passed, but I wanted to share just a couple things with you. I filed House Bill 14, which is called Alyssa's Law. Alyssa was a 15-year-old student at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida, that was shot and killed in a senseless school shooting on February the 14th, 2018, that killed 17 students and faculty. So her mom has kind of made it her life's mission now to look at school safety. This is a badge. What Alyssa's Law would do would be provide every faculty member, every person that works in the school, one of these badges. The school would be gridded. It would have information that would go to the local police department. It would go to Homeland Security. It would go to the front office. Every faculty member would have one of these. There's a panic alert button on the back. If they pushed it X amount of times, it means this. If they pushed it 3, it means it's a medical alert. If they push it 7, that means it's an active shooter. They would be able to pinpoint exactly where in that school the shooting is happening. You remember in Texas, they couldn't find the shooter. This would let them know exactly where that's at. So I'm trying to get a pot of money from the state, and therefore schools could opt into this program. They would have to do a matching fund thing, Doug, but I think it could be, if it saved one life, it would be well worth the money. Now, we run out of time. This was not the budget session. I didn't think it would get through, but I wanted to bring it to everybody's attention. I am going to bring it back next session and try to get that passed. House Bill 161 I filed relates to driver's license renewals. Has anybody ever got a complaint or a call about the line at the driver's license office? Gene, you probably know about that. But I think most of us have. I've gotten more complaints about that, I guess, in the last 2 years than anything else that we've done in Frankfort. So I filed a bill to allow third parties just to issue driver's license renewals, not the initial license. You'd still have to go to the central location. So passed the House, went over to the Senate. I got to see the sausage being made in the Senate. They took my bill and kind of ripped it up a little bit, took part of it out, put it into another bill. But here's what happened. They still are going to allow third parties. There's about 23 states in the United States that allow AAA, an insurance company, whatever, you have to meet certain qualifications, but they allow them to provide driver's license renewals. They have to buy the equipment, they have to do those things. So that still went through. The part that didn't go through was that government agencies would be allowed to provide driver's license renewals. I wanted to let them opt in. I didn't want anybody to have to do that. Lynette, I saw her come in somewhere back here. I don't know that Lynette wants to do that, but I know there's some counties that do want to offer that service to their constituents. So I wanted them to be able to do that. But for some unknown reason, the Senate decided they didn't want to allow that, so they took that part out. So part of it got passed and part of it did not. But when somebody asks, you can tell them we did try, but it didn't make it all the way through.
Kevin, would you like us to ask Lynette right now if she wants to do it?
Kevin probably remembers my response.
I think I know the answer, and I don't think I can say that on TV.
Just checking.
Is that right, Lynette?
That's exactly.
But she does a lot of other good things. She didn't have time for this.
It was all said and done.
Yeah. And then the last thing I filed was House Bill 161, and that had a direct influence from our local sheriff and Lynette as well. Sheriff Hightower and Lynette came to me a couple of years ago, or a year ago, whatever it was now, and said, we've got some bad actors in Warren County as far as drivers' temporary motor vehicle tags. And they explained to me what was going on. And it was mainly in the used car business. And they explained to me what was going on, and I said, we'll try to do something about it. So we brought together the Auto Dealers Association, the Auto Commission, Sheriff's Association, county clerks, and we came up with a bill to help deal with that. So I just wanted to let you know, and I don't try to file a lot of bills. When I do, I try to listen to people that I have a lot of respect for. Sheriff Hightower came up and testified and did a great job in the House and the Senate testifying on this bill, very well respected in Frankfort. So I just wanted to let you know that your folks are doing a great job. We listen to them and we try to do things if we can that helps make their jobs and their life easier, which helps all of us. So those were just a few things, Judge, that we did. I will say that we had a Zoom call last Friday. Our caucus did. We started talking about the 26th session. Everybody is kind of, they don't know what's going to happen. You see on TV last night what's going on across the world, what's going on in the United States. We're all right now just kind of holding our breath to see what direction we're going to go. So I got a feeling this could be one of those lean budgets just to make sure. The other thing we did that a lot of people, House Bill 1, we lowered the income tax rate from 4% to 3.5%. That will start January 1 of 2026. Now, whether we can meet those triggers again next year, that's, up in the air. So, but I will say that, we're already talking about the 26th session. We have our interim committees have just started this month. So we're going to bring some people up from Warren County to testify on different things. So we're well represented when it comes to Frankfort. Judge, any questions? Anybody any questions about that?
Questions for Kevin?
You all, I've seen some of you in Frankfort. Judge Gorman was nice enough to come up. We had 2 days left in the session, and he came in and gave Representative Duval and I a little pep talk the last couple of days to get us through. And he reminded us, you know, we need things in Warren County, and here's the list of things that we need. Make sure you get that done. So, but I do appreciate him coming. It's always good to see him or any of you that have a chance to come to Frankfort. We'd love to have you. They are doing a major renovation of the Capitol, and they have moved us out. We have a temporary facility that was built on top of the parking structure, and it's pretty nice, but you know, it's not like the Capitol. But we'll be in that for probably the next 3 years, if not longer, while they are updated. That Capitol was opened in 1910. Hadn't been a lot done to it since 1910 either. If you go in the basement, there was thousands and thousands and thousands of wires running everywhere. And the plumbing, the electric, none of that's been updated much over the last several years. I do want to finish. I try to do, you know, we get caught in some bad things sometimes, but I try to do some good things along the way as well. And I know we had a couple of fiscal court members that had a parent that passed away over the last year. And when I see these things, I try to do something and try to get a citation. And Doug, I know your mom passed away this past year. Rick, I know your mom passed away this last year. There's nobody like our moms. My mom passed away at 67, way too young from cancer. Her mom lived to 102, and I thought she would also, and she gets cancer and dies at 67, so we never know. But I would like to present you two with a citation from the state legislature, if I could, just to show my appreciation for what you do and for the loss that you have. So if I could, I would like to present those.
Yep.
It's just a memorandum from the Kentucky House of Representatives. This one for Rick is for Helen Francis Ferris Williams. Rick, I'm sorry for your loss. And Doug, in memory of your mother, Imelda Ann Gorman, I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you, Kevin. Always appreciate the opportunity for you to be here. We're going to have, I need to call Senator Wilson, have him down here so we can get his version of what that bill was about. We'll get both sides. We're going to get both sides of that. I can tell you that right now. All right, next up, we have a special presentation. I'm excited to have this. Anytime we talk about a lot of things, and we've got a great citizen of our community. He's turning 100, I believe, tomorrow. Is that right?
Yes.
100 years old tomorrow. And so I want to read this proclamation, but I'm glad we've got Cliff Meeks is with us today with our Parks and Rec Department. He's only going to be 80 tomorrow. That's fine. So, but Mike Bishop, son-in-law, and we're happy to have Keith Bishop with us today too. But this is a proclamation in honor of Charles E. Meeks. Whereas Charles Meeks, a cherished resident of Bowling Green, Kentucky, will celebrate his 100th birthday on June 14th, 2025, marking a century of remarkable contributions to his community, country, and family. And whereas he was born on June 14th, 1925 in Indianapolis, Charles has called Bowling Green home for nearly his entire life, embodying the spirit of Warren County through his dedication to service. And whereas a proud alumnus of Bowling Green High School, it's a shocker, and College High, Charles excelled as a guard for the Purples football team from 1940 to 1942, then pursued higher education at Western Kentucky University, earning an accounting degree from Bowling Green Business University. And whereas Charles served with honor in the United States Navy from 1943 to 1946 during World War II, stationed in Norfolk, Virginia, and Essex, Maryland, contributing to the war effort with distinction. And then Charles served Warren County as 1st District Manager from 1972 to 1977, and has been an active member of the Bowling Green community, contributing to the J.C.'s Civitan Club and State Street United Methodist Church. Now therefore, we, the Fiscal Court of Warren County, do hereby join with the family of Mr. Meeks in celebrating his 100th birthday and wish for his continued health and happiness. We hereby proclaim June 14th, 2025 as Charles Meeks Day. And so we'd like to have the family come forward.
One, two, three.
I think Magistrate Scott Ladd is going to take that personally to Mr. Meeks tomorrow and do that. I said, we scheduled this, Mr. Meeks has a busy social schedule. He couldn't be here. We all get hey, that's 9 o'clock, I can't do that. But what a fantastic thing, of course, someone served the community well, so we're excited to do that. And Scott will be out with you guys tomorrow and do it.
Thanks, guys. I'll be here.
All right, next up, we've got a budget presentation from Matt Hunt with Barron River Health Department.
I might need a password, Crystal.
Oh, it's written on there.
Oh, okay, thanks.
Oh, Crystal, Matt didn't know he's going to have to type today. So.
Yeah, I wasn't prepared for this. I don't think the number lock is turned on, that's the problem. Good deal. All right, thank you all so much for providing me with a few minutes. I am here to talk about budget and the tax rate and so forth, but I wanted to take the opportunity to provide an update on the renovation that we have going on at the health department, and thankfully we're toward the end. So about 2 years ago, this is what our facility looked like down 1109 State Street. And so we've done a lot of work on the outside. This next slide, you will see the transformation. And so it's been a huge transformation. I appreciate the leadership of Judge Gorman at Fiscal Court and our local Board of Health for supporting us in this endeavor. And so we're very thankful for the updated facility. It is 55,000 square feet throughout the facility, and so it's been a massive undertaking with new floor plans on each of the 3 floors. And prior to the renovation, we were only using about 66% of the space. And at this point, I'm thankful we're able to utilize 100% of the space on all 3 floors. So just when you come in, I think it's great for the community, for our staff, but also the clients that we serve to have a welcoming environment. And you walk in, so here are the 2 intake centers as you walk in, the first or the second floor. Our exam rooms and things like that were really outdated, and so you'll see the picture to the left is a picture of one of our exam rooms. The picture to the right is, I think it's a good move on our part. Prior to the renovation, the clinic and environmental services were on the 2nd floor, which meant that anyone coming into the building had to walk, a flight of stairs or get on the elevator, and so it was inconvenient. But this picture to the right is the hall for the environmental services, and this has been really nice for our installers and restaurant owners and things like that. When you think about it from an economic standpoint, these folks are busy. It's easy to get in to see the environmental staff now and get back out, and so that has been a very nice addition. Downstairs, this operates as our emergency operations center during a disaster. This is also an area that we host, community meetings, and so we're very thankful for that. The picture on the right is an area in the basement, and so we focus a lot of attention on training the future workforce, and so this will be an intern area, and again, we work very closely with WKU and the public health and healthcare administration students. And so just the remaining task with the facility, elevator replacement, And so I'm thankful they're working on that now with the hope of being finished in the next 8 to 12 weeks, and we'll be completely finished other than a small punch list. I would like to welcome you all to the ribbon cutting open house that is scheduled for October the 28th, and I'll be sure to get an email to you all. But again, October the 28th at 3 p.m. But as it relates to the taxing district, the current rate in Warren County is 2.9 cents per $100 of assessed value. The state average for local health departments across the state is 4.66%. And so again, I say this at every board meeting I go to, the 8 counties that we serve. I am thankful that we live in South Central Kentucky with the jobs, the building, and the growth that we have had. We're able to, almost be half of the state average at 2.9 cents per $100. And so what does that look like is, overall budget. So revenue coming into the taxing district is a little over $4.4 million, and that includes $4.3 million in revenue, but also $176,000 we included for interest. On the expense side of the equation, expenses come in at $4.2 million, with operations for the Warren County Health Department coming in at $3.7, and then the debt service for the next 20 years on the building comes in at $504,705. And so just a couple things as I close here. Again, I'm very grateful for the support I have from you all and our local Board of Health. But a couple of programs that we are launching this month, and some of those we launched last month in May, but a community health assessment, a mobile health unit, and I have some pictures, Credible Mind, as well as a new website. And so over the next 3 years, we'll focus attention on these 6 priority health issues, including diabetes, nutrition, physical activity, mental health, substance use disorders, and tobacco and vaping prevention. And so we were able to arrive at these priority health issues based on data collection at the local level. And so we had town hall meetings, but we also collected survey data as well. This is the new mobile unit that we have. It's actually at the facility now, and so we're going to be able to use this to remove barriers to care for folks in all of our 8 counties that we serve. Just inside the clinic room, looks like your typical, visit to the doctor, but of course it's mobile and a little bit smaller, of course. This is one thing that I'm super excited about launching. As Representative Jackson mentioned, the Anchor Project. You think about the mental health needs of our community, and so based on our community health assessment, looking at the priority health issues, 9 of the 10 counties in the Brad area said that mental health care and access were the most pressing need. And so while we're not mental health providers at Barren River District Health Department, we can serve as that conduit to help someone get care. And so instead of relying on Dr. Google if you have symptoms and things like that, you can go to this website. Some other health departments across the state and nation have launched a similar program. And so, it has our logo on it, Barren River District Health Department. You can get to this through our homepage. But the first thing you see there, addiction recovery, family relationships, and suicide and prevention. And so it gets folks to some assessments to take, and then it will provide some local providers in each of our 8 counties to hopefully get them care. And so again, we have quite the task before us, but I am very energized with, in our 10 county area that we're focusing on the Anchor Project to hopefully get people some help. The last thing I'm going to leave you with is our new website that is launching today. Very excited about this, and one thing this will provide for us at the right top-hand corner, based on the diversity in Bowling Green and Warren County, this website, you can click on it and change the language, and so that should really help with some of the clients that we serve. And so we're able to focus on the top 5 languages that we serve at the Warren County Health Department. And so again, it'd be very, very helpful for the clients we serve. That's all I have, Judge. Thank you so much for your time.
Great, Matt. Thank you so much. Any questions for Matt? Yes.
Yeah, what are the top 5 languages?
Good question. Spanish, number 1, and we have a lot of Burmese dialects like Karenni and Karen and a few more. So we have, several refugees and international folks that have moved here, and we want to make sure we can serve them. Any patient that we serve, we use like a language line service, but that's once you get into the facility. And so we're hopefully going to remove some barriers before they get in there. But some of the Burmese dialects in Spanish.
Cool. Yeah. I'd like to say, Matt, thanks for the hard work on the renovation. This is probably a 60-year project. That building was in, no problem saying, horrible condition and not really appropriate for what we were doing. It's really been a fantastic renovation. Excited to have everyone out in October to see the building. You will be amazed at it. So thank you for all that hard work.
Thank you.
Any questions? Thank you, Matt. All right. one more presentation. I've asked Sam Ford with Innovation Engine, who is running our BG 2050 campaign that most of you guys are involved in, want us to kind of give an update.
Appreciate that, Doug. Let me get our presentation going here. All right, so really an honor to be coming before you all today to give you all an update on something that the Warren County government has supported and helped us achieve over the last couple of years, and that is this Bowling Green 2050 initiative. I know most of you are familiar, but I'll give a little bit of a recap for folks who may be listening who aren't. Back in 2023, the county government supported a workshop that we held, bringing together 40-some leaders and citizens from very different perspectives and walks of life, and private sector, public sector, nonprofits, to talk about the challenge and the opportunity that we face with the growth in Bowling Green and Warren County that's been projected. That was even before the Chamber commissioned additional research that showed just how serious that growth is probably going to be. So at that time, we had a chance to hear from some figures. You may recognize a few faces in here, included folks from county and city, and a lot of leadership from the nonprofit and private sector, as well as education. And we talked about what the future could look like. That led to a report that we presented back to the county government in this body that recommended, hey, this growth is coming. A one-day workshop is, as my colleague, my co-founder VJ Caminini says, necessary but not sufficient. What can we do to keep this conversation going? So that led to the work that we've been doing, which this body approved, and for the last 15 months, we architected what we're calling the BG 2050 initiative. So that is an ongoing process to discuss a common vision for where we want to be when we have grown by another city of Bowling Green. As that happens, of course, we will only find out in the future what date that is. But we really said, hey, there are very particular issues that arise in different facets of this. So we created 8 pillar areas, we're calling them, and brought in somewhere between a dozen and 15 volunteers in each of those areas. And again, that includes almost any community organization you could imagine. I imagine has had some involvement in this conversation along the way, but trying to represent a range of perspectives. So in all, we have more than 100 volunteers who are working across those 8 pillar groups. Mr. Hunt has been involved along the way. Certainly the health department's an important piece of this. And we developed a structure that looks at how do we also find connections across those pillars. So we have active regular convening of 6 working groups who are working in this area. And then we've brought the whole community together to work on some projects over these past 15 months. These are just a couple of pictures from some of our working groups. This is the housing group when they were in one of their working sessions that Brent Childers was leading over in Neighborhood and Community Services offices, as well as WNKY convening the storytelling group. That's more about community spirit. Who are we? And how do we project who we are as we continue to grow so we don't lose that narrative of what Warren County is and what makes this place the most special place in the United States. I think many of us feel that way because we're all here and investing in this community. I won't go through this, but that's just to say, when I say a lot of organizations across the county are involved in this, that's just the full list of all the organizations who are involved in BG 2050. As we've been doing this work over these last 15 months, we had the good fortune, as some of you all know, hopefully all of you all at least saw, to engage in a project called What Could BG Be? Separate from the work with the county, my company had been approached by Google. They were working on how technology can help make better decisions with data, and they were looking to do a pilot. And I was excited about what we were doing with BG 2050, so we told them about it, and they said, that is the perfect type of case study we're talking about. How can we take data that has been collected about public input and then make it more usable for decision makers? So in February of this year, we carried that out. That is something that cost this body and the Warren County government and taxpayers nothing, because this was a pilot project to test those tools. And I just want to share with you briefly, for folks who may have seen a little bit of that but not been fully familiar, I'll just share a quick video about that project. 143,000 people today in Warren County, Kentucky. 233,000 by 2050. This type of growth is a lot of pressure, but the greatness of our community is always what I like to call oneness, and oneness is all working together to have a type of community we all want to live in.
What do you think?
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 What do you think BG could be?
What could BG be in 2050?
It's live, make sure you go and start weighing in.
For you to get involved in a conversation about your community, scan the QR code on your screen or go to whatcouldbgb.com.
We're going to deliver 20,000 papers that are dated February 17th, 2050.
The What Could BG Be initiative.
Help shape the future of Bowling Green.
More child-friendly activities, Reagan, more tech-focused businesses and programs.
What exactly could BG be in 25 years?
If you would hit on the link below, share what you would like to see happen in Bowling Green.
Multi-sports facilities, making sure that we brand ourselves as our own community.
Continued opportunity, like city opportunity.
What kind of ideas are we going to have that in 2050 that really come to fruition?
BG, I think, could be the biggest city in Kentucky one day.
So as you saw in that video, we had the chance to pull together wide range of feedback and really help our executives make sense of that. We collected, of the ideas that we collected, hang on just a second. We ended up with 2,370 ideas that had more than 80% consensus, which I think really speaks to the power of what we're talking about.
Sam, I think you're still getting something playing in the background.
Yeah, I kept
Somebody
hearing.
just click out of that.
I think
so.
the YouTube is still, yeah.
Oh boy, it's Mitt Romney and Barack Obama.
We've seen that before.
Yep. That's done.
It's like in Crocodile Dundee when he turns it on. It's I Love Lucy. He goes, "Yep, same thing." So we had ultimately collected 2,370 ideas that had 80+% agreement. So what does this mean? Why do I bring this up? It speaks to the fact that we often, and you all sometimes face especially, issues that people are divided over, issues that have some contentiousness to them, but how many ideas, how many things do people want for their community that are a common vision that the majority of residents want? And how do we surface those to make those a prominent part of the conversation and not only lead with the controversial things? Not that we're trying to shy away from them, not that they're not important. And that's one of the things that these tools have helped us do. We ended up with, again, 3,940 unique ideas that we divided across 70 subtopics and 12 topics. And for us, I just wanted to share this. The team at Google did some surveying afterward and found that among the citizens who responded to the survey, Scott, you know a little bit about the challenges of that. But among the citizens that responded to the survey, 3/4 or more indicated that they felt more confident that their voice mattered on issues that were important by participating in this process that they gained a better understanding of some of their neighbors' viewpoints, and that they believed that this could contribute to a better planning for the region. And in return, we surveyed the leaders, not just the few folks in county or city government, but those nonprofits, those for-profit businesses who participated in the process, who are part of BG 2050, and 96% said that they thought it would help them have better input in their decision-making as business leaders, as nonprofit leaders, and as folks working in the public sector. So for me, that's very important that we're armed with this data now, that it was a great opportunity and partnership that didn't require funding from this body, but that we had such great community participation and support in. And so that brings us to thinking about the next 12 months. We're going to be regularly convening those volunteer groups across all those 8 pillar areas. We intend to have those pillar groups draw from this data as one of many inputs that they can take when it comes to imagining what we're going to build over the next 25 years. We're going to highlight some high priority areas based on that feedback and be able to come back to this body over that period of time, taking the work they'd been doing, taking the data we've now received from several thousand of our local residents, and be able to help inform and provide recommendations to the county government, not just for what we can do in the next year, but for what might help shape long-term planning. But not only the county government. Part of this work is for them to take those ideas back to their organizations, Goodwill, the public library, private sector businesses, our education systems, to think about what they may have learned that incorporates what they want to build into their long-term strategic planning. So none of this would be possible without the forward thinking of this body to support this work. We really appreciate it. Honored to see that we've gotten some attention and recognition from communities around the country and even beyond the country for the work we're doing here, not just the what could be GB, but the core work of thinking about the future, and not just, to paraphrase Judge Gorman, letting this growth happen to us. We want it to happen for us, and that requires forward thinking and planning. So really appreciate your support of that work.
Great. Thank you, Sam. Any questions for Sam? Say very quickly, we'll talk about it a little bit later, but you saw out front these fire trucks. One thing that's been very satisfying, you know, we're elected to do a lot of work and work for the benefit of the citizens, but then you have a public input. I think it's very important to have open lines of communication, so transparency, people can contact you about issues you're having. You heard an issue today out at Weatherstone. We want to be open to that. Nothing like getting a report like this, and while we're doing work trying to assess the best needs of the community, and then many different opinions on there, not of people we know, saying we need to have full-time firefighting in the county to supplement our volunteer fire departments. There was many comments like that obviously that was done in February, long before we brought anything out, and so that's gratifying as well. But a lot of great information there that this body will then work towards. So thank you, Sam, for all that.
I got a quick question.
Yes.
The report you mentioned, is that the idea that would come out at the end of the 12 months, or did that come out somewhere during that 12-month period?
So I think there's great question, and I'll give my answer to it, and then the judge can elaborate on what he expects. I think for the groups that are doing this work, ideas are coming up, to Doug's point, that people are starting to incorporate while they're working on it. So I think, you know, the idea will be we'll build towards some vision, some consolidated ideas that these volunteers will be doing that we'll bring back to you all more formally over the course of that process. We want to let that process play out when you're trying to consolidate and combine some perspectives from across these 8 groups, but I also think there are going to be, and already have been, ideas that have come up that go into action either by bringing them back to the county employees, bringing them to city employees, or some of these other groups who are involved saying, I mentioned Goodwill and the Warren County Public Library because when we did our town hall that shared the results, they both participated and said, we've already found ideas that were like, well, we don't have to wait until 2050 to start that. We're going to get that started right now, and we're going to incorporate that into our planning. So I think they'll take some time to gel the more official recommendations, but there will be pieces that we'll bring forth. And I'll say, from my perspective, happy to come back before this body anytime you'd like an update. Say, here, where are we at? Give us, share a few ideas with us that are really starting to gain some traction. I think we'd be happy to do that at any checkpoint along the way.
Sam, I'm glad to see that people are finding out that a lot of these ideas are not just at the end of the road. Things have to be taken in steps.
Yes.
So it's not just patience that's involved, but we have to take baby steps along to get to the grand resolution.
Well,
at the end.
Good point, Rick. And I'll say, as we went through the public part of the process, there were really three types of ideas that surfaced. There were ideas that people had that indicated, hey, here's something that we don't have here. A lot of them private sector ideas. I'd really love to see us have, and here's a great one, correlation probably, but a bunch of people said we need an independent bookstore in Bowling Green, and then I saw 2 months later someone had opened an independent bookstore in Bowling. So you're starting to see some of those opportunities. There were a lot of ideas that have come up that, as Doug said, hey, here are some things we already had in motion or we were thinking about. At the time we took this, they hadn't already started, but they were already in motion. Then there are a lot of ideas that came up, we already have that, and people don't know it, right? So people say, why don't we have a thing we have? That speaks to a different type of challenge, which when you have thousands of people moving here a year, then there are a lot of new families, there are a lot of folks who don't know what we have. And as we grow, as our county grows so fast, there are a lot of things that we may have in South Warren County that the people who live in North Warren County haven't seen yet because they don't go that direction very often, didn't know it was there. So that also speaks to, when you start growing so fast, how do you get the word out? How do you help educate our citizens in this information age where it's so hard to find out what's going on, and there's so many different ways to get information? How do we share the great things that are happening, or why decisions are made, right? Hey, this is complicated, here's why we haven't done that. So we've been talking a lot with the Judge Executive's office about, hey, as we find some of those areas where there's a lot of consensus on something people don't understand, how can we embed that into some of the public information work to say, well, this is why we haven't done that yet. It costs X million dollars, and it's not as simple as it sounds, and we have to make decisions, that sort of thing.
Right. And to answer your question, Scott, we'll have a report before the end of 12 months. Okay. Guaranteed. No, we're working hard on that, and so I'm excited about those results. For this body, then we'll have that information to start making those long-term plans. This is not, here's what we hope is going to happen in 2050, and we sit back and see if it happens. As you just mentioned, Rick, we have to make some small steps to get to those things. So, great. Thank you for the information. All right, we'll get back to our agenda. Item 7 is approved professional service contract in the amount of $5,000 per month for 12 months with Innovation Engine for managing the completion of the BG 2050 project. Motion by Squire Williams, second by Squire Lawrence. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Item 8 is approved second and final reading of ordinance 2505, amending the budget of Warren County. Motion by Squire Aldridge, second by Squire McWhorter. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Item 9 is approved the first reading of ordinance 2506, approving the annual budget and appropriations for fiscal year 25-26 for Warren County. Motion by Squire Lawrence, second by Squire Williams. Discussion or questions?
I just did want to note that this is the first reading is being read again due to a typographical error.
Yes, thank you for that, Crystal. There was a typographical error when we advertised that for that, and so to clean that up, this is we are having the first reading again. We'll have the second reading in our next meeting to ratify that, but this is the same budget, first reading for that. Please call the roll.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Item 10 is approve a one-year renewal with First Due in the amount of $39,585 for software for the volunteer fire departments. This is a single-source vendor due to a requirement to share data with the Bowling Green Fire Department. Motion by Squire Lasley, second by Squire Lawrence. Discussion or questions? Please call roll.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Item 11 is approve the 2025 budget amendment for Warren County Sheriff's Office. Motion by Squire Cummings, second by Squire Aldridge. Discussion or questions? Please call roll.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Item 12 is approve the 2024 franchise settlement for the Warren County Sheriff's Office. Motion by Squire Lasley, second by Squire Lawrence. Discussion or questions? Please call roll.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Item 13 is approve the 2024 property tax settlement for the Warren County Sheriff's Office. Motion by Squire Aldridge, second by Squire Williams. Discussion or questions? Please call roll.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Item 14 is approve the updated receipt for transferring delinquent property tax bills from the sheriff to the county clerk. There were 56 timely postmarked real estate bills received and 2 timely postmarked tangible bills received, resulting in a change in the number of certificates of delinquency as well as the amount due at the time of transfer. Motion by Squire Aldridge, second by Squire Cummings. Discussion or questions? Please call roll.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Item 15 is accept the quarterly financial report from the Gotten Volunteer Fire Department. Motion by Squire McWhorter, second by Squire Aldridge. Discussion or questions? Please call roll.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Item 16 is grant authority to advertise for bids for pre-made cold mix for the road department. Motion by Squire Aldridge, second by Squire Lawrence. Discussion or questions? Please call roll.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Item 17 is grant authority to advertise for the 2025 CAECO salt auction and authorize the judge executive to sign all related documents. Motion by Squire Cummings, second by Squire Aldridge. Please call roll.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Item 18 is approved determination amount of $17,000 even to Gary Force Honda for the purchase of a 2020 Honda Odyssey for Drug Task Force. 3 quotes were obtained. This is the lowest and best and is paid for by the Drug Task Force auction proceeds and asset forfeiture at no cost to Warren County. Motion by Squire McWhorter, second by Squire Aldridge. Discussion or questions? Please call roll.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Item 19 is approved determination in the amount of $39,972.61 to Dwight Embry's Garage for a new engine in dump truck number 4, and this is a single source vendor. Motion by Squire Aldridge, second by Squire McWhorter. Discussion or questions? Please call roll.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Item 20 is accept and award the following yearly materials bids for Warren County for fiscal year 25-26. 2501 is aggregate materials, that's to Martin, Marietta, and Heidelberg. 2502 emulsified asphalt is to asphalt materials. 2503 metal drainage pipe is to Hagen and Stone, BG Steel. 2504 signs, Econo Signs. 2505 gasoline and diesel, Valor Oil. 2506 tree trimming, Runners Tree Service, Willis Tree Service, Cut Clean In Between, and Tree Company. 2507 bituminous asphalt is Scotty's Contracting and Stone. And 2508 sinkhole repairs, Infinity Pipeline. Motion by Squire Aldridge, second by Squire Cummings. Discussion or questions?
Just a question for Josh, I guess. these price increases, kind of what average percentage-wise? You know, I know everything went up a little bit, but, or is it just across the board?
The asphalt price actually dropped, so our paving price for asphalt came down a couple dollars a ton, which is great. Rock prices were up and down depending on which rock classification you wanted and where you were getting it from. Metal pipe and signs had some up, some down. I'd say in some cases we were up about 8%, in some cases we were down a few percent. So they leveled out to be pretty flat, nothing drastic like we've seen in the past. So I felt pretty good about. So yeah, no, it's a pretty good bids this year. Thanks.
Okay, any other questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Number 21, approve order 2514, appointing Jamie Pierce to the Board of Assessments Appeal. Motion by Squire Cummings, second by Squire Aldridge. Discussion or questions? Thank you, Squire Cummings, for that recommendation. Please call the roll.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Item 22 is approve order 2515, declaring surplus property for the Warren County Attorney's Office. Motion by Squire Lasley, second by Squire Lawrence. Discussion or questions? Please call roll.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Approve determination amount of $13,125 to Rec Desk for a one-year software subscription for Parks and Rec for their facility and league scheduling software. This is a single source vendor. Motion by Squire Lasley, second by Squire Williams.
You need to pull that one.
We need to pull that one?
They found our check.
So we mailed a check.
They billed us twice. They said that they never received the bill. They never received the check. We sent the check. I had proof of the check. It's taken them almost 3 weeks to find the check that had been processed on time. And so late yesterday afternoon, I sent Crystal a message. They found the check and have paid up until next April. So we're good.
Hallelujah.
Amen. Thank you, Judge.
Well, it sounds like an efficient company to deal with. That's good. Okay. A lot of confidence in them. That's great. So I'm sure their software is fantastic. I'm glad we're able to use it. All right, item 24. So we'll delete item 23. Item 24 is approve a 3% cost of living adjustment for Warren County employees. Motion by Squire Aldridge, second by Squire McWhorter. Any discussion or questions? Please call roll.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Item 25 is approve the third quarter financial report for Warren County. Motion by Squire Lawrence, second by Squire Lasley. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Item 26, grant authority for the Warren County Judge Executive to execute a memorandum of agreement with the Kentucky Justice and Public Safety Cabinet for the purpose of securing pass-through grant funding in the amount of $25,000 to be administered through Drug Task Force with no county funds required or expended as part of the grant. Motion by Squire Aldridge, second by Squire Cummings. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Item 27 is approve the 211 report for May 2025. Motion by Squire Lawrence, second by Squire Lasley. Discussion or questions? Please call roll.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Item 28 is approved determination amount of $4,525 to Connexus for AlertSense iPause Premier Software 12-month renewal for emergency management, and this is a single source vendor. Motion by Squire Aldridge, second by Squire Lawrence. Discussion or questions? Please call roll.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Item 29 is accept and award bids for the various firefighting tools and equipment for tankers to the following vendors based on the lowest and best cost. Atlantic Emergency Solutions, $92,222.31. Fire Department Service and Supply, $33,049. MES, $3,655.60. 911 Fleet and Fire Equipment, $7,897. iPads and mounts, $4,000. Tool mounting equipment, $5,000. And I will say, thanks to Bill for doing this. We had sealed bids from 6 different vendors on a variety of products, all to outfit the 3 tankers that hopefully you saw this morning, our 3 newest vehicles for Warren County Fire. And that's what part of this is. Each vendor understood that it would be item by item, and so this was a great cost savings to Warren County by having that competitive bidding done. Motion by Squire Aldridge, second by Squire Cummings. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Cummings?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams?
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley?
Yes.
Item 30 is approve lowest and best quote for firefighting personal protective equipment rental to Turnout Rental in the amount of $1,130 per set for 12 months. Exact number of sets needed is yet to be determined, but could be up to 60 sets for a total of $7,062.50 per month. Multiple quotes were solicited, but only 2 could adequately meet equipment requirements. Motion by Squire Aldridge, second by Squire McWhorter. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Cummings?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams?
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter?
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley?
Yes.
Item 31 is approved determination amount of $13,400.12 to Penn Care for the purchase of 4 external automatic defibrillators with mounts for Warren County Fire. 3 quotes were solicited, only 2 were obtained. Motion by Squire Aldridge, second by Squire Lawrence. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Cummings?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams?
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter?
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley?
Yes.
Item 32 is accept and award bids for various firefighting personal protective equipment to the following vendors based on lowest and best cost. Atlantic Emergency Solution for boots, $23,451. Fire Department Service and Supply, that's for hoods, $10,500. High Tech Rescue for helmets, $25,601.25. Fire Department Service and Supply for eye protection, $487. MES for gloves, $5,898. And 911 Fleet and Fire Equipment for helmet front, $5,500. Motion by Squire Aldridge, second by Squire McWhorter. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Cummings?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams?
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter?
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley?
Yes.
Item 33 is approve emergency determination amount of $5,330 to Rescue One connector boats for the purchase of an inflatable rescue boat for emergency management to replace one that was damaged in an accident. Motion by Squire Aldridge, second by Squire Lasley. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Cummings?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams?
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter?
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley?
Yes.
Item 34 is approve order 2516 declaring surplus vehicles for the road department. Motion by Squire Lawrence, second by Squire Lasley. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Cummings?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams?
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter?
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley?
Yes.
Item 35 is approve updated fiscal year 25-26 rental fee assessments for Parks and Rec effective July 1st, 2025. Motion by Squire Aldridge, second by Squire Lasley. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Cummings?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams?
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter?
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley?
Yes.
Item 36, approve first reading of ordinance 2507 establishing Grove Park Street and Groveton Way located in Grove Park subdivision as county roads and authorizing maintenance thereon and setting speed limits thereon. Motion by Squire Lawrence, second by Squire Lasley. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Cummings?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams?
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter?
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley?
Yes.
Item 37, accept bid from Roy Hunter CPAs in the amount of $27,250 to perform the Warren County Fiscal Court audit for fiscal year 2025. This is under professional services. Motion by Squire Aldridge, second by Squire Lawrence. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Item 38 is approved treasurer's report for April 2025. Motion by Squire Aldridge, second by Squire Cummings. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Item 39 is approved first reading of ordinance 2508, authorizing a lighting agreement between Warren Rural Electric Cooperative Corporation and South Park Commons Phases 1 and 2. Motion by Squire Cummings, second by Squire McWhorter. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Item 40 is approved first reading of ordinance 2509, authorizing a lighting agreement between Warren Rural Electric Cooperative Corporation and Breckenridge Phases 2 and 3. Motion by Squire Aldridge, second by Squire Cummings. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Item 41 is grant authority to advertise for the position of Deputy Fire Coordinator. Motion by Squire Aldridge, second by Squire Cummings. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
And item 42, will the treasurer please report the claims?
General Fund, $1,127,419. Road Fund, $357,152. Jail Fund, $534,789. Stormwater Fund, $95,196. LGEA Fund, $17,625. Grant Fund, $47,425. Fed Forfeiture Fund, $4,493. And Opioid Settlement Fund, $30,500. Be happy to answer any questions.
Motion to pay our bills.
Motion by Squire Cummings, second by Squire Aldridge. Discussion or question? Please call the roll.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
All right, Sheriff Hightower.
Thank you, Judge, Fiscal Court. I would just like to thank Representative Jackson, Representative Duval, Senator Mike Wilson for everything they have done. They're very responsive. Anytime we try to call or need to call them, they pick up their phones and just been very helpful to get some things done. So I want to thank them. I'd like to thank you all too for just passing our amended budget and everything. It's very appreciative in what's going on with Sugar Maple Square. So excited about that. As it is summertime, kids are out of school, but I just want to know that this past week we had a school board safety meeting with a lot of folks from Warren County Public Schools, and this is when we do all of our planning and preparation, planning for a lot of our trainings, go over the policies, whatever we can do to make the schools safer. And some of the alert system was brought up in that conversation as well, and so a lot of good things going on as far as that goes. We have two of our young recruits are going to be graduating from Madisonville next week from the Western Department of Criminal Justice Training Academy. It's really nice just having them an hour or so away from here, so that's always really good too. And thank our Hadley community. We had a little Hadley community event this past week. Had a little good showing out there. It's always just good to get out in the community and talk to folks, but everything went well there as well.
Right.
So pending any questions y'all might have for me, that's all I have.
Awesome. Thanks, Sheriff.
Thank y'all.
Ms. Yates? Haven't changed your mind. Jailer Harmon?
If there's any revenue involved, the jail might like to be involved in issuing driver's license. I'll on the record and say that. Being one of the worst budgets I've ever presented, thanks to lots of factors, I thought this would be an opportunity and people can come in and get their license. So, I wanted to give a quick update on on a project that's working this morning right now, actually started around 7. Yesterday, we had reports of diminished access in a couple housing areas of the jail to hot water. So part of an aging facility, we had 2 major water boilers that are from 2007 and 2008 is when they were installed. They are failing. One's failed altogether and one is leaking and not worth repairing. Problem is you have to take out the one that's not completely dead yet in order to get to replace the one that is completely out of service. And so obviously the repair company doesn't want to put back a boiler from 2007. So to the tune of about $84,000. So with no real option being an emergency that we have to take care of. They're down there working now. Stuart Ritchie Service Group does a lot of work inside of our building with plumbing and other things when our maintenance staff can't take care of it in-house. And so they're down there doing that. You'll see an item on your next fiscal court agenda to approve this emergency determination. So I wanted to give you a quick update about that. Obviously didn't have time to get quotes when there's part of the building with no or diminished access to hot water. So wanted to give you that quick update, and so you'll see that on your next agenda.
Thank you, Jailer. Yep, and thanks for the hard work getting that solved too. All right, Chris is not with us today, but that's all right. We'll just continue keep Chris and his family in your prayers. So rough go of it. So it's good. So, but we're so thankful for the Parks Department, man. They got great people, and we're excited to work with each one of you every day and keep rolling. So it's good. We got plenty of tournaments, all kinds of things going. It never ends. So, Josh, all good. Thank you, Nikki. You good? All right. Hello, Holly. Warren? Good. Everything good in your world?
Yes, sir.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Hope you have a great weekend. Ronnie? Thank you. I spoke with Ronnie this morning and don't mind sharing with you, we still are a major struggle bus with FEMA. That solution is never getting any easier for us, and Ronnie is working diligently to update everyone and continue to get more assistance from FEMA, and it has been a struggle. So there's no two ways about it. So I appreciate all the hard work and keep doing what you're doing. Tommy? Thank you, Judge. Great. Are you driving that minivan? I shouldn't ask. Okay, keep going. All right, Ben. Nothing but the best for you guys. 2020, I like it, so it's good. So a couple scratches, all right. Bill. Sorry. And you keep me an hour and a half, I'm going to have to start saying things, so it's good. Bill?
Good morning. I'll do my best to be as brief as I can. I just want to provide a couple updates. So the part-time firefighter application process is underway. We have 80-some applicants, and thanks to Crystal Cummings and Lacey for helping process that whole HR challenge. We are in phase 2 of the hiring process, and we hope to be rolling out job offers here within the next couple of weeks. And then we're going to start the training on our end to make sure that we have people that are competent and qualified to be staffing the stations. We're still working through the implementation date, but we'll shoot for around August 1st to start staffing some stations. And then obviously this morning we have 3 new tankers that are going to be out and about. One of them is headed to Lexington today for the state fire show, and we'll be able to sort of showcase our new graphics. The other 2 will start driver's training. They did pass inspection, fortunately, and they will be out starting driver's training and those types of things. It's not likely that we will be running calls yet with those for the next 60 days approximately, just because we have to get folks trained up on those. And then lastly, as you see, and I appreciate the willingness, public safety in general is an expensive undertaking, and I appreciate the willingness of this group to support that. And just please know that being fiscally responsible is at the forefront of the decision making, and I'll be working closely with the Treasurer's Office to keep that going. So.
Great. Thank you, Bill. Monumental day today with those delivery of those three tankers. Very impressive, and of course I love to see the paint scheme, and if you'll see those out there, that is the paint colors for Warren County Fire. That gray and red is very attractive, and they look great out there, so we're very proud of that. Thankful again to this fiscal court or for stepping up to make a difference for the community. So, and thank you for our work. All right, Squire McWhirter.
It's all good, sir. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Squire Aldridge.
Thanks to Kevin.
Oh, yes, thanks, Kevin, yes. Squire Aldridge.
Yes, thank you, Judge. I want to echo what you just said and Mr. Rector as well. It's an honor to serve on this fiscal court that is tackling the challenges that come forward as we continue to support those volunteer fire departments. Thank you to the men and women of our volunteer fire departments. They're the backbone of our community. As you had mentioned there in the presentation downstairs earlier, when we unveiled the takers, they're answering the call when many of us are enjoying our evening, or there's calls I'm sure that were paged out even while we were here at court. And they're dropping everything that they're doing and answering those calls, and we appreciate them, all their hard work. Thank you to their families who sacrifice while they're gone, and it's an honor to have them in our community. And I also would like to publicly thank Mr. Bill Rector, our Warren County Fire Coordinator. He's putting in a lot of long hours. It's through his hard work that a lot of this has come to fruition on the things that we've done today, and I appreciate that and just wanted to take a moment and thank him.
Great, good words. Squire Cummings.
Okay, I'm gonna be a little lengthy, apologize. First of all, I want to thank everybody who came out to Operation Anvil. It was a success. It was a challenge this year because we had 96 German soldiers and 52 Americans, so we had to be very creative in our battle for the Americans to win.
We still won though, didn't we?
It was,
let's not rewrite history here.
Thanks to Rick and Tom for coming out and helping with his medal ceremony. It was well done. Thank you again. I'll say also thanks to Bill Rector, but also we'll make a formal announcement that looks like the honeymoon period is over with. The money request is coming in full force. So, Bill, welcome to the family officially. The honeymoon's over, but thank you for all you're doing for us and your leadership. Reminder, next Wednesday, if fiscal court's able to go, the annual oil can race, soapbox derby's coming, but this is the time where we have a chance to get in the adult cars and go down the hill and can challenge anybody you want to challenge. That's next Wednesday at 11:30 out at Fillmore Park. Hope some of y'all will come out and participate in that, which leads us to the 28th annual All-American Soapbox Derby next weekend, June 20th and 21st. It's always one of the best events that happens in Bowling Green. It's great to see these kids go down the hill and compete. And who knows, Gracie got second last year. You never know, might go to number one this year and have that wonderful trip to Akron later in the summer.
I'm hoping for second place again.
On a couple personal notes, I want to say condolences to the Greg Stevens family. Unexpectedly passed away at 53 years old. A lot of people knew him as a great dude, and just pray for his family. On a good note, my son, youngest son, will turn 18 years old next Tuesday, and proud of him and where he's going to next and so forth, but very happy and very proud of Matthew. Yep. Since we're not going to meet before this, we were going to meet one time, but we're changing the meeting date, so should announce the 44th annual Thunderfest, the Hayward Minton Thunderfest, will be Saturday, June 28th at Ephraim White Park. Gates open at 4 o'clock. There'll be a lot of fun stuff to go on and so forth. Always a great event, for the community. And last but not least, I want to say Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. It's this Sunday, and I just want to say congratulations to all of them and all they do for their each respective family. So Happy Father's Day to everybody.
Thank you. Great comments. Squire Williams.
Thank you, Judge. First of all, just thank everybody for noticing the flags that Rotary has out for in recognition of Flag Day. That's one of the holidays that Rotary puts the flags out through the community, the different neighborhoods that have opted into that program. That money is funneled back, the proceeds from that project funneled back into the community to support youth programs. So it's great that we're able to show our patriotism in the community, but also do great things. And I want to say personal thank you to Representative Kevin Jackson for the recognition for my mother. Thank you very much.
Yep, thank you. Squire Lawrence.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Squire Lasley.
I'd like to wish everybody a happy Father's Day. That's about it.
Great, thank you. Mr. Treasurer.
Thank you, Judge.
Sarah joining us today. You have a long, lengthy comments? Oh, no, okay. Thank you for being here. It's good, so. Ms. Cummings? All right, Deputy Judge?
Thank you, Judge.
Great. You might have seen on there, we have to, you can see these June meetings laying a little long. We appreciate everyone's patience. We have a lot of things to wrap up before the start of our fiscal year, July 1. And so because of that, we are moving our next fiscal court meeting originally for June 26th. It's now going to be Monday, June 30th at 9 a.m. That will keep us from potentially having to have a special called meeting to pay bills. It's important from that standpoint that we have those checks dated the 30th of June that are approved this year. And so our next fiscal court meeting will be Monday, June 30th at 9 a.m. Kevin and Debbie, just got up there and has Debbie come here and didn't even recognize her, but we appreciate Debbie. But Kevin, thank you for the hard work you do. We are extremely blessed in Warren County. Our legislative delegation is the best in the state. And when people talk about Warren County, what I hear is how lucky we are to have the delegation we have. And Kevin, I consider you not only a great friend, but a great advocate for Warren County. Thank you for all the hard work that you do as well. Appreciate everyone's patience. We've got so many great things going on. I hope everyone has a great weekend with their family. Happy Father's Day to each and every one of you that's a father. And if nothing else is come before the court today, is there something else? Okay, if there's nothing else sorry, I thought I missed something. We have a motion by Squire Lawrence. We are adjourned.